Good morning. Time for a look at markets this morning. Well, you've heard everybody has bad days. Occasionally, they stretch into bad weeks. But January this year for the agricultural commodity markets was a bad month. It was a horrible month. Futures finished lower most every day, and on Friday ended the month with significant losses. We had the ag prices were lower, and again, stock prices were tough, and it was just a bad month all around. Bryce Knorr of Farm Futures joins us. Good morning, Bryce.
Well, good morning.
Tell us that as we turn the calendar page to February, we're going to have better times in the ag commodity markets.
Well, typically we do make our bottoms in the grain market in February, so we may still have a little tough sledding to go through here. We are trading lower in the overnight session, but modestly so. But typically we bottom out in the corn market right around the end of January. Soybeans can take longer, perhaps into the middle of the month, until we get a little better idea of how that South American harvest is going to come in.
And what have your reporters down there in South America told you about, because we've basically heard that the production is pretty good down there. Weather for production is pretty good. The crop looks pretty good, but what have you heard?
Well, we have a reporter down there, and going to be flying home today. So far, what he's saying is the crop looks in good shape, and certainly the pictures he's been sending back would indicate that no major production problems. Some of the dry areas did pick up some precipitation over the past couple of weeks, which really eased some of the concerns there.
So we're going to have a whole bunch of South American soybeans coming on the market soon. The other news is that maybe the world will be awash in corn before the end of this year.
Well, I think it looks like we have a pretty good South American corn crop. The growers will be planting that in Brazil behind their soybeans. So if the weather holds, they'll have a good crop, a little bit smaller than last year, but on top of the record U.S. crop and supplies coming out of the Black Sea, again, we have record world production in corn, soybeans, and wheat going to be weighing on prices.
All right, January, also a little slippage in the livestock markets. What's your outlook for February, Bryce?
Well, we'll have to see now if the trade reacts negatively to the cattle inventory report that came out on Friday. Typically, that's more of a long-term report, but it did show ranchers rebuilding their herds faster than expected. We may see perhaps a little bit of bull spreading, starting to buy the front month, sell the deferred, so we could see that weigh on the back end of the market. But we were able to move prices a little higher last week, and the futures remain at a significant discount to the cash market.
And that's a strange situation where cash is higher than the futures. How long do you think that spread's going to last?
Well, we could see that keep up for a while here, because particularly with some of the colder and certainly snowier weather that we're seeing. Much is going to depend on demand. There's a lot of cheap pork out there and also cheaper poultry, so there's a lot of competition at the meat counter right now.
Awesome. Bryce Knorr, a senior market analyst for Farm Futures. Thanks, Bryce. Have a great day. It's 4:54. Coming up next, check out the forecast again and a preview of what's coming up next on the Valley Today.